Hi everyone, this is part 2 of sculpting high heels, and if this is the first time that you're viewing this tutorial, you might want to go back to the first one that I did, Introduction to Sculpting High Heels. I go more into the drawing part of it. It goes more into depth of what it is that I'm actually seeing inside of myself. And I'm explaining it to you on paper so that when I'm sculpting it in the clay, you'll pretty much understand what it is that I'm doing. High heels to me are very, very easy to make. I know that I put it on my other description, but if you didn't read it or you forgot, I have the template on my Facebook fan page, and please join me there. I have great plans for the fan page. I'm just waiting for my art channel to expand more, and I'm going to turn something into a place where I think that a lot of people are going to really enjoy. So we'll see how it goes. I have a few high heels here. Now, like I said, I do this out of scrap clay, and I don't really do anything with these. It's a warm-up time. I always will just sculpt one. Sometimes I don't even finish it. It just depends on how quickly I get into alignment with myself and my focus. Then I will try a lot of different experiments on it. So sometimes I'll have a shoe that'll have one part of something and another part of something else, and it would look strange, but I experiment with texture. As far as shoes goes, clothing goes, even handbags, anything like that, I try to go with something that has a different look and maybe a different appearance of not clay, that it really looks like maybe fabric or leather, or whatever it is that you're looking for as far as texture. I try to stay away from it being so much clay, but we are working with clay, and we just have to try to make it look like something that is really real. That's our challenge in the art world. Okay, this one here, I had it in my first tutorial, and this was done with just black paint and black flocking. Now, I really like the flocking. It does give it a nice texture. This one here, I was experimenting just to show you that I do experiment on these. And what I was doing is I had you put some black paint on it, and it's the paint is by Golden, and you have to put the paint over black paint so that you can see the iridescent colors. The colors are beautiful, but I don't know, I just didn't quite like it on the shoe or the clay. Maybe I just needed a different style shoe, but I'm not going to give up on that. So what I'm going to do with this, I don't know. Pick it up one time and just do something different. This one here, I was playing around with it, and I tried it's called Modeling Cream, and it's thick, and what I did was I applied it to the shoe, and it dries pretty quick. And then I took some embossing ink, and I just dabbed it on there, and I threw some, it's called Red Dragon. I really like that color. and heated it up with the heat gun, and I would most definitely consider using this on one of my dolls. And then, of course, you would decorate it, you know, put your buckles on it and gold string, ribbon, you know, whatever it is that you're looking for. And then I just painted the bottoms with black paint. I have another one here. Now, this is a much smaller shoe, and I haven't really done anything with this, but I wanted to just show it to you that this is a larger shoe, and this is a smaller shoe. But I wanted to do the larger ones because I thought we would see it better on the camera. What I'm going to do with that one, I haven't decided yet. Now this one here, I just did this just a little while ago. I've been wanting to do this, I just haven't gotten around to it. But I really like the texture of this, and let me bring it up to the camera, and I'll bet you don't know what that is that I used. It's not paper, and it's not clay. What I think I'll do is I'm going to leave this alone, and I'm going to see how many people will try to guess what it is. Okay. And if I don't get that many people or whatever, I'll write it in one of my posts what it is. Okay. To get started, what I do, again, it's scrap clay. It's going to be dirty. Okay. I make a square. And the square, I want it to be, and if you do this, don't do it the way that I'm doing it. Put it under your drawing, underneath your glass, because your polymer clay will pick up the markings from your drawing. But I'm doing it this way so that we can see it. Okay, I'm going to, let me turn it maybe sideways a little bit. Let me move this. Okay, now what I want is, I want my clay to be about up to where I have the drawing of the heels, or I can go past it. I just don't want to go past my 3/4 mark. As far as how wide, it doesn't have to be exact, but I want it to be somewhere within that square. And I'm going to take it down on this side. And it's not going to be as wide, but I want it pretty close. And what I want is, I want this to make sure again that I'm past the eye placement, which I would be the same as I laid my clay up on the top one. Okay, so if I were to take this, and I'm just going to turn my paper so that I can cut this. And I'm going to just slice it in half, because the foot, each foot is a half a face. So I have two feet here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. And my clay's a little bit soft here, so I gotta readjust it. I'm going to lay it across my second picture. Okay? And I just want that just to be a little bit flatter. Okay, I'm still good. And I'm okay there. Now, I'm going to draw, just put in my 7 o'clock and my 1 o'clock. I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to line it up with my halfway mark on my template. Now I'm just going to set this aside, and I'm going to slice to the right of my halfway mark, and I'm going to go around, bring that more into the camera, or I think, hang on, I think I need to move it. Okay, this way. Okay, now I'm going to just kind of make a little arch, and then I'm going to cut that in a slant because the heel is going to always be more narrow than the top, but not necessarily. It all depends on, you know, you're the creator of the shoe, so you can make them pretty much the way that you want. Now this is going to be the bottom of her shoe, and I'm just going to flatten that out a little bit. And then I'm going to take the heel, and the heel I've got a lot of glue in that, and I've washed my hands 3 times. Okay, the heel is going to always be too much clay, and I just keep working with it. Then I take a tool, and I want to go inside between the heel and the back of the shoe, the front of the shoe, and I kind of want to make that arch because I'm making a real high heel. And you have to remember too, you're sculpting a shoe and a foot. I'm just keeping that part flat so I can keep my visual shape in there. Okay, now because she's on a real high heel, it's almost like she's up on her toes. So this particular shoe that I'm doing is I'm making it so that the front of the foot isn't real long and pointy. I want to make it more rounded, like what I showed you. I think that is like the easiest to start off with, and then once you get the basics here, then you can go on and you can just create any kind of shape that you want. Okay, now I have the toe, which is just starting, and it's just a little arch. Okay, I want to bring my clay up because I'm starting to build that foot, and then the ankle, I'm going to take the back here and that's going to be part of her ankle. And then I just pull it down to as far as I want it. I go back in here and then the back part of her shoe, you want to concentrate, and when I roll it, I'm making this part here at the sole a little bit wider. And then push the clay back. Now, if I were doing this on a doll, I would have it the shoe and the armature, so my clay wouldn't be so flimsy like this. But we're just showing you the basic of how to get the shape of the shoe. And I go in there and I still make that arch. And you see how it's starting to shape up? And then the foot, because it's up so high, she's going to have that little arch, that raised area in the foot. And then for her heel, I'm not really doing it right now, but I suggest that put something in there for a support, because it is a very fragile area. Sometimes I use toothpicks. Wire, I don't know, the clay just doesn't want to stick to wire for me. The toothpick I do pretty good. Sometimes I've even used a real skinny nail, but again, that's like metal. Sometimes it'll stick to it and sometimes it won't. But I like to use the skinny nail because I use the head of the nail for the part of the bottom of her shoe. It looks pretty cool. Okay, you see how it's coming together? And it wasn't really hard at all. And then of course you would go in there and you would detail it. You would put more of a definition for her ankle and the shoe. Now this part here, don't pay any attention to it, because again, if I were doing this on a doll, she would have a lot more clay up here, so that I could start forming the more of the ankle and the leg. So actually, if I were just sculpting this on an armature, I would have it that far on the armature. So in other words, let's see if I can. Okay, now if I have an armature, which I wouldn't be putting clay on this bare wire, I would have the epoxy, and it would be real thin, and then I would insert it into the legs. So in other words, I would go this way. Let me bring this out. Okay, see, her leg would be, you know, a lot more rounder. So I would bring it, well, see, this would be out further. So in other words, it would be, the clay would be all the way up, and then the wire would go down into the foot. Like that. Okay, now to make the definition of the shoe, depending on, again, what type of shoe that you are even creating, I just go in there and I'll just sketch it in. I'm not being really perfect with this because I want to make this tutorial as short as I can, but I want you to get the how-to. And then bring it up and around and then join back together. Okay, and then your ankle would go in. And then don't forget your ankle bones. You would put your ankle bones in. And there you have it. And then if I wanted to make platforms, okay, I can always take my clay, cut out the another piece for the bottom, and then put that right on there. But you have to remember your heel too. And one other thing I want to really stress with you here is that when you do these, remember the toe should be rounded and the weight of the foot is going to come down on the back of that behind her toes. Just as her arch is coming up, the weight is going to come down on that. The weight isn't going to come down on the toe. Okay, now if I were to put it up on my template and just compare it to size, okay, I would put it right up to it, and I am right on it. Let me turn it sideways. And too, when you put the support in the heel, that really helps it when you're cooking so that the heat doesn't move it. And the other thing I want to point out to you, because I almost forgot this, this is a very important part. As you're sculpting the shoe, pay attention to your heel in reference to the back of the shoe here. Make sure that your arch is the same on each side. And this part right in here with the shoe is pretty even. And then of course your heel is going to go down the center of the back of that shoe where the arch is. That part you have to really pay attention to. Now a lot of times when I cook these, I will go back in there sometimes with an X-Acto knife, and all I do is I very lightly will go in there and just shave it out just a little bit more because I want just a little bit more of an arch. Okay, now show it to you sideways. See how I'm on it? Okay, I think you saw that. Okay, now I'm going to turn it sideways. Let me get my heel here. And there you have it. See how the drawing and the measurements really help you get the basic of the shoe. now it's up to you on how you want to shape it, how you want to design it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cook this, and then I'm going to come back and we're going to just decorate a shoe. Okay everyone, I've baked it and I'm going to show you something that happened to it so you can see what it was that I was talking about. When you sculpt these shoes, please put some kind of a support in that heel. I did not do it, and I'm glad that I didn't do it because I can show you exactly what happened. The heat will bend it depending on how it's laying, okay? And sometimes you might have knocked it when you laid it down. Really, you won't regret by not putting some kind of a support in that heel. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my shoe here, and I think what I've decided I'm going to do something that's very simple. And I thought I would use this color blue, or what is it, like a teal? It's a frost. I don't know. I haven't even used it, the color, but I like the color. So this is going to be the first time on this shoe. I'm going to take some glue, and I'm just going to kind of water it down a little bit. Now then, what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to do something that a little bit different. And I hope I didn't, well, I didn't really mess it up because I can scrape it off. But I want to leave her sole to where it doesn't have the flocking on it. But I think it's going to get on there. But if it does, I can wipe it off. Okay, let's see how this does. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is I have the ceiling fan on. Let me go and turn that off and I'll be right back. Okay, I forgot about the ceiling fan because this stuff gets all over, and if you've got raw clay laying around, put it away because you'd be oh, it just gets into everything. And see, it hasn't been used, so it's really packed in there. I'm going to take some more glue because I don't think I got enough on there. And I'm going to put some more. Let's see. Now you want to be careful when you go back and you apply your glue, because if you're not careful, that flocking will ball up. Now my black, I don't have that kind of problem, but I've used the black so much. And like I said, this is the first time I'm using this. So it's been sitting for a while. Even though I have tapped it and everything, it's really packed in these containers. Okay, and then I go back and I just will lightly touch it to get it packed down. And then just tap it a little bit. And it's getting on there. Let's see if I can hold it this way. I really like that color. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some more glue. Now the glue that I'm using is just Elmer's glue, and I'm watering it down. You don't want to use a thick glue, like tacky or anything like that. This flocking makes wonderful clothing, like sweaters, stuff like that. Oh, and even purses, handbags. I'm kind of getting away from making fairies. I want to get into doing fashion dolls, and back with sculpting some children too. I need a change. I've always liked fashion. I always wanted to be a fashion designer, and I just think they're just so artistic. Some of the stuff, when you see them come out on the runway with it, you would think, you know, sometimes who would wear that? But I've changed my thinking on that, is that those designers have put a lot of thought into that design, that particular design, and even the model. Because now when I actually look at them, it's like that particular outfit that they're wearing looks good on them. If you put them on a different model, it might not look as good. So they're very artistic people, and I just highly admire how they can go so far outside of their box and be so creative. To me, it is just, I love it. So I'm going to just have some fun. Now you see now how that bunched up. Gonna water it down just a little bit more. I'm not going to do the whole shoe, because really this tutorial is just to show you how you get the shape of the high heel. Later on, I'll be just posting shoes that I've just made while I was just messing around. I'll keep that in mind to complete a shoe, so that you can just get ideas of how to design them or how to create them. It's always good to look at designs, pictures. Now I'm really liking that, but now I got to take a brush Well, there's one side. And you know what I think I would do? I think I would do the soles in silver. Maybe a silver. I don't know about a gold. No, I think I would do it in silver. But there's how I would flock it. And as far as your straps and your buckles, oh God, you can be so creative with this. This is nothing but a, oh, what do they call them? They use them for the, I don't know, I can't, because I don't make charms. But look, you can, it's a straight pin, and then I bent it, and then just put it around your shoe, and I've actually put it to where, let me see if I can turn it. I will make it so that I have another little ring, and it will actually slip in it to where it locks in. See, that's not dry, so that really needed not to handle it. Really make sure that it's dry before you really handle it like I just did. But there you have it, you guys, and I hope that this tutorial has given you an understanding of how to just sculpt a basic high heel shoe. And this will help you expand on all the different styles and shapes and everything that you can make as far as dolls for your shoes for your dolls. Let's see, what does that look like? Let's see. You can make so many different things. Yeah, let's see. Put this over here. This. Put it across. Oh, there's just so many things. I just love doing shoes. But yeah. Put some crystals on it. Put a little bit of glitter if you want it to be really fancy. Okay, everybody. Like I said, go to my Facebook fan page. I'll leave the link in the description. Please join. Like I said, I've got some plans in the makings, and as I keep getting more subscribers, I am going to create something that I just really know in my heart that a lot of people are going to enjoy it. It is not going to be a place to sell your work. It is strictly going to be a place of sharing and basically school, if you want to look at it that way. My subtitles and everything, they're going to be totally different. You know, it's just going to be a whole new way of looking at things in a real positive way. That's the way art should be. And hope you enjoy it. Please join my Facebook fan page. The more people that I'm seeing that are coming in, I'm getting closer and closer to creating what it is that I'm seeing that I feel everybody will enjoy. Also, subscribe to my art channel. Any of my tutorials on here, you will not see me directing you to my website or anywhere to purchase anything. This is what I've been doing for 30 some years, and it's time for me to share, and I just want to have fun with it. And I hope you enjoyed this, and you'll make some beautiful shoes. Leave me a comment if you have a problem. I answer everybody. And I think that's it. Have a great day, and I will see you soon with another tutorial.